guys, I'm Shannon and welcome back to my channel. I know the surroundings look a little bit odd. Our house is under construction. Every room is a complete and total disaster, including my kitchen pantry. We're actually staying in our camper right now. So trying to find a blank space to film this was a little difficult. So I chose a wall in an empty bedroom and set this up. So I hope you can hear me and I hope you can see okay. So I am doing this video in response to Leanne over at Mennonite Homestead. I actually did a video like this a few years ago when Linda with Linda's Pantry and Lisa from Sutton's Days started it, and I will link my video below. I tried to not copy too many of the ones that I did in the first video because I absolutely stand by those original ones. So this is kind of my next 5 of ones that I will continue to can and ones that I'm not doing anymore. So I'll go ahead and start at the top with the ones that I still love. So what I have up here are, this is grape juice. It's wild grapes that are here on the property or at our neighbor's house, muscadine. Now, I'm not doing as much of this right now because Chris and I are really trying to do more low carb, low sugar, but it's a great way to preserve, and I will continue to preserve this way whenever I get a bunch of them because there's always people in the family that love it. And then canned fruit in general, peaches, pears, figs. Our fig tree is absolutely loaded, and I have 2 small figs that might put out a few figs this year, definitely next year. So figs, definitely. There's so many things that you can do with figs. They're just such a great fruit. So I will continue to do fruits. Today, I actually just went to a local big farmer's market and picked up pineapple because I have no pineapple to put up here because I'm out. So I'll include a picture from today. So fruit is definitely number 1. My family loves fruit. We will continue to can fruit. Second thing that I was supposed to get today from the flea market and they were sold out, I had pre-ordered, was beets. So I hope to have maybe a fall crop, definitely a spring crop of beets for next year. Everyone in the family likes beets, especially the sweet and tangy ones. Those are Chris's favorite. This is literally my last jar of beets, and I put them up a ton of them last year. So I'm definitely gonna have to do more beets. Next would be beans. This is black-eyed peas. These are white acre. And pigeon peas that have like ham and onions and celery and garlic and everything. Beans, peas in general will definitely be my go-to. I can them plain, just plain with salt, you know, and then sometimes I can them with meat and seasoning. The meat and seasoning that I put in them is usually ham or bacon, so that, you know, that's something I usually use in most of my meals. If I have the seasoning already in it, I can make some rice, warm up this can of beans, and literally pour it over, and I have meat, beans, and rice, complete meal right there, nice and easy. And that kind of brings us into the next one is ham. I have found that I love to can ham. You can just dump this right into a casserole. You can put it with beans, do beans and rice, do a casserole. You can make ham salad. When it's soft like this, it blends so easily to do like a ham spread or a ham salad. So ham is definitely on my go-to list of things that I can. You love my setup here, so I know this isn't perfect, but it's what I had. And last is preserves. Now, In my previous video, I said I was gonna get away from doing a lot of jams and jellies and preserves, but there are still some that are go-to that we really, really love. So the few chosen ones that I like fig, because we do have an abundance of figs, I will continue to preserve those. So preserves are definitely something I will continue doing. Now, to get down to the ones of no-go, we are done. And I want to say Leanne maybe mentioned this in her video and one or two other people. Pickles. So, pickled okra, pickle relish. I think these are sweet pickles, sweet and tangy pickles. They're good. There's literally nothing wrong with it. It's just, the kids have moved out. It's just Chris and I. We're never gonna go through all these pickles. And he likes pickles, I like pickles, but for the amount of work and effort that it takes to do it, and for the wide variety that you can have, the amount that we go through, we'll just go buy a couple of jars of pickles. Now, this is not to say that if we had some major life catastrophe or, you know, with the way the world is going right now, if I needed to preserve stuff, I absolutely would preserve it any way possible. But just for our day-to-day usage, I'm just not gonna do pickles anymore. The other thing is syrups. This is, let's see, cran apple syrup. This is regular apple syrup. This one is spiced apple syrup. They're delicious, they're wonderful, they're great. You can use them over pancakes and waffles and ice cream, and you can thicken them up. So many things you can do with them. And I make the syrups from the scraps to try and not be wasteful, because I'm one of these people, I want to try and use absolutely everything. But I have probably 24 jars or more of syrup still, and it's been a few years since I made syrups. We just don't go through them. So there's just no point. They take up tons of space, and we just don't go through them. So syrups and ciders, I think those probably go hand in hand. I'm just not going to make a bunch of syrups and ciders anymore. One other thing that I made that everybody seemed to love, and I made it and no one liked it, including myself, was maple beans. We love baked beans. Absolutely love them. I made maple beans thinking they would be more like baked beans, and everyone hated them. I even tried to make a batch just cooked using the same recipe. Nobody liked them. There's just something about the flavor of the maple beans that no one likes, but they love if I make baked beans. So no more maple beans. I think I still have like 5 jars of this. I keep trying to figure out ways to use it, but they may just end up being chicken feed if we can't use them up soon. And bacon. It's great for flavoring. Like if you want to take this, dump it out, one, there's a lot of grease, which you can reuse the grease, you can cook with it and all that, so it's definitely beneficial. If I was going to lose a freezer and I had tons of bacon in it and I was gonna lose all that bacon if I didn't do something with it, 100% I would can the bacon and put it up and preserve it, and it would be 100% usable and it would still be delicious. But in my opinion, it's only good for seasoning. You can throw it in a pot of greens. You can put it in beans. You could maybe cook it up and use it as a crumble on top of something, but just to open this can and be able to warm it up or put it in a pan and fry it up and eat it, I just don't love the consistency, but it's a great way to preserve bacon if you need to, and it's a good long-term option. But am I going to go out of my way to do it again? I don't think so. And last, have an empty jar to remind me to do this one, was cranberry sauce. The family hated it, absolutely hated it. Thankfully, when I made it, I didn't do a huge batch of it. They did not love the consistency. They would have just rather opened a can of the jellied cranberry sauce and had that, and I kind of agreed. I can make fresh cranberry sauce and make it at the holidays, like a nice cran orange or something like that, and it's delicious. But something about canning it, we just didn't like it. Something with the consistency, it almost tasted a little gritty. Just didn't love it. So it's in our no-go list. We still make tons of stuff with cranberries, just not cranberry sauce. So I think that is my do's and don'ts for this year. Be sure to check out the other video that I did a few years ago. Those are definitely my top 5 on both sides. And check out Leanne over at the Mennonite Homestead and all the other wonderful channels that have jumped on board with this. And I am slowly working my way through those because I just stumbled across this. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you enjoyed everybody else's, and I'll link a few more things down below I think that you might like. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. And in case you're wondering what I'm working with here, this wonderful thing here was my tripod. There's Macy, there's Muggsy, and my current workspace. It'll be beautiful one day, I know.